This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is brought to you by SAYSKY. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. I want you to come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place.
Welcome to episode 419 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. Looking through the agenda, a few news items, but it's a bit light on. We've got the World Athletics Athlete of the Year Awards to discuss. There's some nominees there. New South Wales Milers Club, Queensland 5K champs, listener question, Moose on the Loose, some whispers, and also a talking topic tonight with whispers. And listener question coming to you from thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Croaks, you're up in Canberra. Welcome to episode number 419. How are you going this week?
Doing very well, Brady. It's a bit of a quiet period in the world of athletics, sort of that lull where I know a few athletes are sort of starting their pre-season, heading up to altitude, but there's not a heap of big events on at the moment. I had a look at World Athletics' website this morning, and the cross-country sort of season started, so a few sort of big names, but we don't really cover that too much, that cross-country season.
Yeah, you get those random like ones in Spain and Italy and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, yep. I think there's one in Cardiff on the weekend.
Yep, some big dogs there. This bloke on our co-host, Croaks, he was in action racing on the weekend. He came third in Run for Geelong. Julian Spence, welcome to episode number 419.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. Hopefully I sound a bit better. There's no big lags because last week it was a real hard work. Probably would have been a bad listen, but it was hard work trying to speak, knowing that you're not going to hear me for 3 minutes.
Karma, Moose. Karma for having to go at Canberra's internet all the time.
I actually patched it up fine, Moose, to the point where my wife said to me, why do you guys always bring up the internet issues when it sounds fine? And I'm like, it sounds fine because I put in an hour of work to make it sound fine. But as we were recording, it was a pain in the ass trying to make it smooth. But yeah, you sound better this week.
Yeah, good. I haven't fixed the internet problem here, but I've moved closer to the box. So we should be okay tonight. And I am the star again, so you're going to want to hear me.
Haven't seen
Podium yesterday.
Yeah.
Biggest race in Geelong. They call it the Geelong Championships or the Hospital Championships or the, the Run for Geelong, fun run in, like the city fun run. That's what was on. You could rock up here and you could have Olympians in the race, or you could rock up and have no one in the race. It's like
the biggest fun run in Geelong, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's the biggest fun run for sure. But there are other running events in Geelong that are probably more well attended by like the performance athlete or like the competitive runner.
Yeah, they had 6,500, didn't they?
I'm not sure. It was sold out though. It sold out a couple of hours the night before, and it's pretty sick. Like they give out a red T-shirt for all competitors, and there's a bit of a culture of wearing the red T-shirt in the race. So I'd say 85% of that 6,500 wear red T-shirt, and the whole there's just a sea of red floating around this course, like a big like caterpillar type thing. It was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I saw some photos. It looks really good. And like a true like charity fun run, isn't it? Like you're not like you look at the winning times and like, do you feel weird? Did you wear one of those T-shirts? You wouldn't have raced in one of those T-shirts?
No, I didn't wear the T-shirt. And I don't feel bad not wearing the T-shirt. Like the T-shirt's optional. And
too elitist for the T-shirt.
I'm trying to think where the first
raise money for the hospital,
T-shirt,
wasn't it?
Bowen Health Foundation raises money. Yeah. So when it first started, it was put on by Cotton On, the Cotton On Foundation, and when they said it used to be that 100% of your entry went to the charity. So Cotton On would pay for all the road closures, would pay for the timing, would pay for the traffic management. It was crazy back then. So Cotton On put in a heap, and yeah, you knew that you paid $50 for your entry, whatever it was, straight, all of it went to the to building. I think it was a new children's ward at the hospital, and they got it done in like a really short amount of time. The fundraising for this entire ward, it was Lee Troop was. I'm not sure whether that whole project started the year Troopy was there or not, but he was the one. He was the event director at the very beginning, and then there was some. I think there was a bit of a tussle for management of the race, and he left, or the race was taken from him. I'm not sure how it played out, but I know there was a few complications in that area. And then the Cotton On Foundation took it over, and then they had the full Run Australia series. So there was like Run Wollongong,
Oh yeah,
Run Newcastle, Run Ballarat, yeah. And then they had like a Run Australia Championships in Geelong, and they took the winners from each Run Australia event and they raced it at Geelong. I remember being there jogging around that day.
I do remember that. Like that was a good concept.
Yeah, I loved it. It was cool. Like I think Russell Desai Chin may have been perhaps the Newcastle winner who came down and raced, and Nath Hardigan was there from Ballarat. I don't know where the other
would have been Wollongong. Would have been Wollongong, I reckon.
Maybe he was Wollongong. Yeah, there was a few. They didn't target the major cities. They targeted the rural cities. I can't remember where the other cities were that had it. But yeah, it was like full on. It was really cool.
So then did it go through a stage of like not happening and now they've brought it back to life, or it's always happened since, like, because we're talking like 10 years ago, aren't we?
Well, I think after they built the hospital, like the ward, the race had kind of served its purpose, and Cotton On Foundation stepped away, and then there was a bit of a hole there. They're like, hey, this is a great fundraising event. Someone should pick it up. And I think an events company may have picked it up for 1 or 2 years, but then the Bowen Health Foundation maybe now. It's back at the hospital, back raising funds for the hospital, but the Cotton On Foundation doesn't do it anymore. And it's more like a normal event now. I think it's like funds raised go to the cause, not 100% of your entry, which is very rare that those charity events, like 100% of your entry goes to the cause.
Well, you'd need huge sponsors, wouldn't you? Like a huge backer like they did with Cotton On.
You need a massive backer foundation like that. Yeah.
Someone paying the bill.
Yeah.
So you don't have to take the expenses out of the entries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know all about this stuff.
Look at Brady. Brady loves talking about this now that he's a race director or race owner.
It's a Monday and I'm nearly sick of being a race director for this race that's coming up Sunday, Croaks.
I
reckon I would have got 70 emails today. My tolerance for bullshit is starting to wear thin, and it's only Monday night too. People want to swap events. People are writing me essays that haven't got into events because it's sold out. Council had some arguments with them recently. I've created a lot of enemies, in this event.
The bowling club pay your salary, or does that come out the race?
The Moa Bowling Club are the major sponsors, so which is nice of them. I've got to bring them up a bit later because I went to the races in my weekly recap. You wouldn't believe who the live music was from, but I'll get to that in my recap. Tell us about your lead up to your race though, Moose.
Yeah. Well, I had a bit of a stinker of a week, to be perfectly honest. I woke up Monday and I was like, my legs were so tired and heavy after that Sunday long run. They weren't sore at all, which is really rare. Normally I get soreness, but they don't, like, I'm not tired. I woke up heavy and like I walk up the stairs and I'm sort of like, struggling. But the running wasn't too bad. Like I could run fine. I was just tired. So I got out just for 6K that morning. I think it was, just 6K. And then I did another 6 in the Arvo. Wanted to get a little bit of mileage at the start of the week. But then I worked out I was pretty cooked here. So I went 10K the next day. And then 6K the next morning. And then I did another 6K that Arvo. No, I've fully cooked this. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a different week that I'm looking at.
So I was trying to do this different. I was trying to do this log. Like, we've done this for a very long time now. This podcast.
419 episodes.
Do you guys look at your activity feed or your training log?
No, I go to at the top right-hand corner where it says like my profile. Click on that. And then click on the week. Yeah.
Oh, that helps.
And then for you, I just go to your blue bar from last week and then I scroll down.
But you do that for yourself as well?
Nah, but for me, I go to my profile.
Yeah.
And then when that opens, I click on the blue bar from last week.
Yeah, okay. I gotcha. So
I cannot believe we're having this conversation on episode 419.
Do you know the best feature on here is the training log? But in order to make it good, you have to title every run so that you know what you run, like what it refers to. So
you're kind of guessing as you're hovering over them all.
Yeah. I've only been using training log the last few weeks since I've had like 3, like gym, cycling and running, because it's easy for me to just go, I rode and went for a run that day. But normally when I'm just running, I just do the same as you, Brady. Go to my blue bar, click on it and just go Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll do that now.
Always learning, aren't you, Moose? Always learning.
Good feature as well, while we're on Strava, good features. Just type in like Mona into your search and it'll, like, in your activities, and it'll pull up every Mona fartlek you've ever done, as long as you've named it Mona fartlek, or in your description says Mona, then you get every Mona fartlek from all time there, and you can just review them all. Or you could type in like, what did I type in? So I was searching for Magnolia. So like Magnolia Road, Morgan McDonald put a video up on YouTube of him going out to Magnolia Road. Is it Magnolia Road? I think he called it Magnolia Drive maybe, or something. But up above Boulder. And when I was there, I ran it, and it was kind of famous because it was from running from the Buffaloes. And then he put this YouTube up, and it reminded me about when I went there. So I typed in Magnolia, and the runs popped up. I'm like, this is great. Good feature. Also reminded me how fit I was and how unfit I am now. Like, you think you're going okay now, but I was looking at these runs done at like 7,000 feet in the heat, and I was running over hills, running 420s at 130 beats a minute, right? And now I can't run 440s at 130 beats a minute on flat in 10 degrees. And that is how I know I'm fit. When I can get an easy run done at a low heart rate. And I just haven't had that for a long time. And I got found out a bit in this race, actually. And now that I sort of go back and look at true fitness, I've got faux fitness at the moment. I've got this like fake fitness where you can rip a few 3-minute reps and you think you're going pretty good, but then you're not. You're not going as good as you think you are. Anyway, I'll get to that.
You take it for granted though, don't you? Like, I was talking to one of my athletes this morning over in Ireland who's like 3 or 4 weeks out from Valencia, so fit, like fittest he's ever been. And he's like, I appreciate it. And I'm like, please appreciate it. Like, do not take this for granted when you're the fittest you've ever been.
Yeah, you really do. It's so easy to run when you're that fit. Like, you go out for a 16K, it's fucking easy as. You go up hills, your heart rate gets to 150, not 170. And you're just smooth, you're gliding over the ground, and it's just an absolute delight.
But even then, when you're really fit, like, you still want more. Like, not every session is amazing. And the below par sessions, you look at those ones now and you're like, I would take that below par session because it's way fitter than I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you don't compare yourself, Moose. It's not good.
Oh,
That's why you don't go to Strava and look up your files from 2013.
No, it's been good for me. It's a reality check. It's an ego check. And it's showing me what actual fitness is. And the problem is you forget what actual fitness is. And then you go and try and race 10K hard. And you're like, why am I going so bad right now? But you're actually not. You're just not fit. It's just a pure fitness thing. And you're wondering why at 9K you're blowing up. And you're like, I should be able to finish strong today, but I can't. What's going on? Fitness.
But this comes back to, I guess, this sort of for the last year, 2 years, there's always been this like short-term approach of it's like you come back from an injury, and when you're coming back from the injury, you say, yeah, I need to reset. I need to take my time to get fit. And then there's some race that you want to jump into 3 weeks down the track and you do it. And although you're not injured and you're running okay, you need to basically go, I'm not saying don't race for 6 months, but you need like a 6-month block of just uninterrupted training. And you haven't had that for, 2 years? When was the last time you had 6 months continuous?
That's worth looking up. That's worth going back and seeing. But you're
right.
right.
6 weeks into this build.
It's okay to race, just don't expect things. And I have a hard time not expecting things when I race. I have a hard time not being ambitious and secretly want to win races and be as elite as I possibly can be. And 3 weeks above 100K is all I've had. That is stupidly little training. Like you cannot expect to do well off that. But
even sessions, like you need to also go into sessions with like really, really low expectations. So to stop you from actually pushing the envelope so you can actually string together that 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah. You do. You've got to take the expectation away. Strava's no good for us for there. That's where racing's probably not good as well, is because you go in and then you feel let down. Like I felt let down after this race, which I'll get to, but it also gave me a real fire. It sort of lit a fire in me that I just don't want to be content with being a mediocre runner. Like I want more than that still. There's still a drive in me to want more. And the only way I can get more is what you said, Croaks, 6 months uninterrupted plus, 6 months plus. That's where the answer lies, not short-term fucking cheat ways to try and push things.
So back to our point last week though, like these long runs, do they help or hinder you doing 6 months of uninterrupted training?
Do you want my answer?
Because I think they're a bit risky. Like I'm like, go for 28K at 430s. Do that for 3 months instead of these 30Kers over hills at gap of 405.
We have a period there where you're doing hour 45 runs until those hour 45 runs feel so easy. Then you go to 2 hours until 2 hours becomes really, really easy.
But the flip side is you enjoy it, Moose. It's like, that is your favorite day of the week, smacking people up on your Sunday long runs.
Yeah, you might enjoy it, but we've just had the discussion. It's like to run well, you need 6 months training.
Yeah.
And so although you enjoy it, it's not the smart decision.
I think I need to I've sort of come to the realization that they're not bad for me, but they're not great for me from a sustainability perspective. And in order to take that away, I think I need to do a workout Saturday morning. And if I do a workout Saturday morning, I wake up Sunday and I have no drive to go fast that day. But the workout on Saturday morning will not be hard and fast, and I won't be sore, and I don't think it'll be a risk going Sunday. It'll just take the edge off me, take the competitive element away, and I can get through 2 hours with the pack, not feeling like I'm antsy to go up a hill or whatever. So that's sort of my plan now. See how that goes. But yeah, this week was rough for me. funnily enough, I woke up Sunday morning feeling great. Race day. I jumped out of bed. I'm like, you would not believe it. I've felt six days in a row. I've woken up feeling like garbage. And today I wake up feeling good. Like, how about that? So I didn't even get that excuse. So I did run 6K that morning. The next day I ran 14K out on this dirt road. Pretty boring stuff. Have this new podcast I'm listening to. You boys, revisionist history, Malcolm Gladwell?
Yes.
You listen to the latest series, the Alabama murders, I think it was? The Alabama.
No, I haven't.
It's
Don't
good.
recommend, though. Oh, it's good.
No, I do. It's good. It's the best one I've heard. It's the best one of his for a long time.
Okay. Put it on the list.
30-minute episodes.
Is he the guy that did was part of that, not specialising too young?
No, that was the other guy, the author of Bounce. Oh, what's his name?
He was in a discussion on
Alex.
it. I remember watching
Ferguson. Alex Hutchinson.
Matthew Swade.
I remember seeing him.
There's another guy as well. Who writes similar books.
Alex Hutchinson.
He was a runner though. Gladwell.
Yeah, he was.
He's a big track nerd.
Yeah.
He had a race against. Oh, who did he race against?
Yeah, Chris Chavez from City.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes.
He smacks up Chavez all the time, I think.
Yeah.
He did a really good podcast with Ross Tucker. Went for 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, Gladwell. Recently, right? Recently.
Yeah, not so long ago, 2-3 months ago.
Yeah. Anyway, he has a brilliant podcast out there, Revisionist History. Went to the Aries Inlet area for workout on Wednesday morning. Did 2 by 8 minutes at threshold, 2 by 4 minutes at what was supposed to be 10K intensity or effort, and 6 by a minute at 5K effort. And it sort of got a bit out of hand, really. So the threshold efforts were fine because we sort of went up with a headwind to start, 3:29 pace, came back down 8 minutes, 3:16 pace, tailwind downhill. And then the 4 minute was back uphill into a headwind, ran 3:07, but that was pretty hard. 3:01s on the way back, again, fairly hard, but did have a tailwind, so you could get moving. And then the minutes, 2:53, 2:55, 2:55, 2:50, 2:50, 2:50. Too fast. Felt good to go fast again. Haven't been fast for a while, but it was too fast in the scheme of things because I got a bit sore in the calves after this. There's a real, you wouldn't think it, but there's a real difference between the load on the body at 2:50 pace for a minute than 3:05, 3:10 pace for a minute. And again, learning experience coming back, relearning all these things. 2:50 was pretty aggressive on the calves, had some DOMs afterwards, whereas I reckon if I stayed at 3:10 or 3:05, I would have been fine there. But just...
Well, it's like 1,500 meter pace versus 5K. Once you start getting into 1,500 meter sort of territory for a minute, it's pretty solid.
It doesn't feel like that though. I've always just done minutes solid. It's minutes. They're short enough where you can sort of hurt, and you're not going to get into a big debt. And then we were having a 90 seconds rest between them, so you could recover a bit and get going again. It's hard to have the brakes on for a minute. It doesn't feel like if I get a minute interval given to me and I'm not floating afterwards, I'm running that pretty hard, just regardless. Yeah, you boys might be more disciplined than me.
Nah, I'm the same, Moose. You just fang it.
Yeah, if you got a minute, you're going. You're going for it.
I'm just looking at your actual range here too. You get out hard too.
Oh yeah. Fuck, got to drop
I'm the same.
group.
You've averaged 250, but the first 15 seconds you're going at 2:35 pace. NordVPN has partnered with the Inside Running podcast to offer you an amazing discount. Head over to nordvpn.com/inside running to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 additional months on top of that. Think of NordVPN as your personal bodyguard for your online activity. It encrypts your internet traffic, shielding your personal information from those prying eyes and online criminals with state-of-the-art encryption. It can help you book flights and hotels for your next race, as well as when you're over there, you can connect to a NordVPN server in your home country and safely enjoy the content as if you never left. Wherever you travel, it's perfect if you want to follow local Aussie sport. With NordVPN, you can access all your streaming services from back home. Don't forget, there is literally no risk with your 30-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try, and if you like it, great. If you don't, they'll issue a full refund, and you can pretend the entire situation never even happened. Check out our link, nordvpn.com/inside running, to get your subscription started today. You can also find the information in the episode description and the link in our social media bio.
Yeah, I had Ali was there. She's not fast. She won't even pretend to try to go with me. But Liam, who ended up beating me at Run Geelong, was there. And he would just be sitting there. I could hear him breathing behind me. I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to back off and let you beat me in any of these reps. Turns out I probably should have. He's come past me at the 9K mark in this fucking race. Anyway, that was Wednesday morning. Just jogged 6K the next day. Enjoying those, getting 12K in for the day or more, but broken into 2. Feels a lot more manageable for my body and helps when I have early starts and meetings so I can get to work a bit earlier. And then the 10K on Saturday morning, just jogged 6, real taper. Sunday morning, run Geelong, drove into Geelong, picked the bib up. 30-minute warm-up. When I actually tried something a bit different in this. So I went out for, just like a 5.5K jog to start. And then I did a longer repeat. So I've been struggling in the first rep of my workouts. And so I decided, I'm going to do this last, the last like effort before the race. I'm going to go maybe like 3-minute tempo effort. And so I ran around the block here at about tempo effort, hoping that I would sort of get some, what do you call it? How would you describe that? What you get from a longer extended warm-up?
Priming
Primer.
your system.
Yeah.
Activation, something like that. That's
Priming.
priming, isn't it?
It's, yeah.
Why did you decide on the, what did you do, 5 minutes at tempo-y?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really want to do like 3 minutes at 10K pace, like a full interval, but I didn't want to just jog 4-minute pace. So I thought something in the middle.
Did you then do strides after that?
I did strides before that.
Before that, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Then I came back, put the singlet on, walked to the start line. It was so the race, like you get to the start line, and because it's just a fun run, you're like, you get to the start line, you look around and you're like, who's here today? Who's driven down from Melbourne or like Ballarat or whatever? First person I see, Ben Stevens, who works for me. He's wearing a fucking bucket hat, a big oversized t-shirt. I'm like, oh, this is a flex from him. Guy can run a bit. He's reasonably fit. And now he's going to make everyone behind him look like absolute amateurs because he's going to win with a fucking bucket hat on. And just totally disrespectful behaviour to everyone else in the race. And then Brett Ellis, who I think he lives in the western suburbs of Melbourne, maybe. He always pops around Geelong fun runs. He's probably beat you a few times, I reckon, Brady.
Had a big battle with Brett actually at that race that you were organising Ballarat that time.
Oh, yeah.
Run for a cause,
yep.
200 metres to go, we were still together.
Yeah, you tussed him?
Yep.
Yep. And
Thanks
then
for the memories.
yeah, Liam, who runs for Geelong actually in the cross country season. He's quite wealthy, and his family has a holiday house down in Fairhaven, so he comes down and stays down in Fairhaven a lot. So he trains with us a fair bit. He's been coming out on long runs lately, which has been good. And then Michael, who's been running with us as well, he's a 1500, 800 dude who's going longer now. So he's been on long runs with us as well. So the race goes straight uphill. Boys, I encourage you to click on this link and have a look at the elevation map here, because this race is no joke. This is proper hilly stuff out here. So you go up 30 meters in the first kilometer. That's a tough start. 30 meters in a kilometer. And we go 3:20, which at the time, the first K of the race feels okay. Doesn't feel like there's anything crazy. I look around, there's probably like 5 or 6 people in our little group. I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. And then you look at gap pace here, 2:59. Too fast. So too fast for me right there. Heart rate already gets up pretty good for me. So at the 1K mark, my heart rate's 168. So I've basically hit threshold at 3 minutes in. Problem, really, considering what happened late in the race. And I think a lot of the guys probably had that. Then you turn left, you go like along a bit of a flat section, and you drop down that exact same hill you ran up, just on a different street. So I'm not a good downhill runner anymore. My knees just don't handle it too well. They don't love it. So Brett and Michael took off down here, and me and Ben ended up behind. But even running downhill, my heart rate still basically increased. So that's also not a good sign. Then you go up over Eastern Gardens, and when we got into the gardens, Ben just sprinted from behind me and dropped like probably a 3-minute K to distance himself from the group. Brett and Michael chased, so I was in a very clear 4th position at this point. I could not run that fast down this hill. So this 3K hill, like I've run a 3:11. Those guys probably ran a 3-minute K there. Put a bit of space on me. Then you go up a pretty good hill at the backside of this park. Did you guys ever run the cross country, the Vic cross country, or was it that Australian cross country champs at Eastern Park?
No.
Yeah, I ran nationals there, and it used to be around on the AV. Remember, it was 16K?
Yeah.
16K laps of the gardens there, just on one side of it.
So you're like, it's the course.
I know what you're talking about here, yeah.
The road's 2.2K. It's a semi-hilly tempo loop. Big old downhill. At this point, I'd caught Michael at about the 5K mark. I think we went through in 15. Well, the markers are kind of all over the place. It's got me here at 16:18 through 5K. I thought, oh, you're in a bit of strife here. Like, got another double, and I was already starting to feel pretty tired. There's a crazy part of the course that is a bit insane, to be honest. Like, they turn you up this ramp, which is like a closed road, and it's so steep. So like the grade up here at one point is 18%, and there's a U-turn at the top. So you go up for like 50 meters, maybe 60 meters, and you do this U-turn, and you have to run down 18% gradient on the other side. So at this point, I was in 3rd place. Ben was miles ahead, and Brett was about probably 5 to 10 seconds in front of me. He got to the bottom of the hill, and I didn't really notice, but he had sort of turned left. There was a whole bunch of cones that were pretty confusing, actually. And he's decided to sort of turn left at the bottom, which I didn't really think about when I was there. But then when I got to the bottom, I'm like, hey, he's going totally the wrong way. So I had to yell out, hey, Brett, you wrong way. And so he hit the skids, did a U-turn, ran back up behind me. but he had obviously expended a lot of energy getting back to me. So I had broken away from him at this point. Ran down this, by this stage, my heart rate's up near 180, running down this long stretch, do a U-turn. But this stretch, right, this long stretch, they could easily put the cone back another 100 meters to make up the distance if you took out that little pinch that they put in, which doesn't make any sense to me, but there might be a reason I don't know about. At this point, it started pissing rain, like heavy rain, and you came back into a headwind. I was starting to slow down. I was thinking everyone in the race was slowing down too, so I'd be okay. I got up to the hill at the top of the sort of gardens where you enter it and you turn right into this big, long downhill to the finish. And Liam Coughlin went past me at that point at probably like the 9.4K mark, I'm going to say. And I thought, oh, okay, what have I got left here? Hopefully he sticks around and I can out sprint him at the line. But he made the right call and he went straight past me and I couldn't really hold on to him. And so I finished in third. Ben won 31.40, which is a very good run on that course. I think I ran 33.03 for third.
I like Ben's title.
Yeah, right. That's nice, isn't it?
Riding solo, Jason Derulo.
Yeah, I love that. You know, the best bit about him putting that up is that the results didn't capture his time. So the Addy has reported him not even finishing, and they gave the win to Liam. And
yeah, I looked him up on the morning, and you were second.
The presentations, he got left out, and he's not in the results either. So, yeah, maybe that's a bit of karma for disrespecting us, wearing a bucket hat and a T-shirt to beat us. I finished. I was pretty unhappy about that. How I finished the run. I was disappointed in my fitness mainly. I thought I was a little further ahead than what I am. Our times, like last year's winner Pete Kerr, he would have come fourth in this race. No, he would have come fifth. So the runs were a lot better this year than they were last year. But it gave me it stoked the fire for me to get back because I really don't want to feel like that again.
I reckon the course also makes you feel a lot more unfit than you are. Like if this was a dead flat 10K, you can probably get away with a decent run. But as you know, when you start throwing hills into a race, you actually need to be a lot fitter to run those courses well.
Yeah, you can't fake it, can you? Like those heart rate spikes going uphill. We've talked about how when you're not fit, you can't get your heart rate down on the other side. It just
even
stays
just
up.
Jogging, not racing, just going out for a jog. Like when you're not fit, your heart rate gets up, and that's a sign you're going well when you can actually do those hilly long runs with a low heart rate, or you get the heart rate down real quick once you've got to the top.
Yes, yeah, and even if this, like for instance, that first hill, I get up to 168. If I was fit, it would probably drop down to 160 on the back side of that hill because we didn't run that fast down there. But mine stayed up. And then when I got to the flat, to keep the same tempo, it immediately went over threshold. So it was just a really hard, sustained effort for me that I couldn't pull off. Because like 319 for that K should have been, like the 9th K, 319 should have been faster there. And 310, that should have been like 3-minute pace going down that hill. Like that is a long, runnable downhill. So, yeah, just missing a bit at the back end. That's it. That's my week.
Good. You're back racing. You learn from it. Fire in the belly, like you said.
Yeah, motivated. I'm really motivated. I haven't felt this for a long time. Like I'm waking up. I'm going to bed early. Last night I went to bed early, got up early. Just felt like I need to be disciplined.
How many weeks until the twins are due?
Smart decisions, and think 6 to 12 months ahead, Moose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it help or hinder? Have that in your mind.
Yeah. That's a good point. That is good. Help or
From
hinder?
your bedtime to your workouts to how many beers you're going to drink the night before? Does it
I've
help or hinder?
Cut back to one beer. One beer a night's my limit. No two beer nights.
Mid-strength or full strength?
I'm drinking the Gage Roads single fin at the moment. You like that? It's a summer ale. It's a light one.
Kramer's bought some of those up here the other week. He was banging on about how good they are.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Good beer. Croaks, what have you been doing?
A bit of everything. Had a bit of a mixed bag last week. So kicked off Monday after work. I went for a run around Yarrabee Pond. Had Lily on the bike. So that was 9.5K at 4:19s. So that was, 2 days of running in a row because I did 35 minutes on the treadmill on the Sunday, 41 minutes on the Monday. Then Tuesday, I did a bit of a bike session. So I did like 20-minute warm-up and then 4 lots of 10 minutes at sort of threshold, like that comfortably hard sort of zone. I think in cycling, they call it like sweet spot. And then had 3 minutes easy in between the 10-minute reps. And then I was going to have like a 20-minute cool down, but after those 10-minute reps, I didn't feel like super tired. So I ended up just doing 20 minutes at the same effort that I'd been doing all my 10-minute reps at. So I pretty much finished that ride with like a 30-minute sort of effort. And then that afternoon went to the gym for an hour. Wednesday so Viv was heading down to Melbourne for Oaks Day. She was flying down on the Wednesday. So before she flew out, jumped on the treadmill for an hour on Wednesday. And that was, I had no issues at all on the Monday or the Wednesday. So I'm like, oh, this is promising. I haven't had any issues since I saw the physio. Then on Thursday, I just did an hour 25 on the bike. And then Friday afternoon, I went out to Mulligan's and everything was going pretty well. And then I got to maybe 8, 9K and my calf just started to it didn't grab, but it just didn't feel right again. So I stopped briefly, jogged home. So I did just over 10K, like 10.2K at 4:27s. And my calf was then a little bit tender from that sort of slight flare up. So that sort of was like, I'd been having like a really good week up until that point. And I was like, well, if things had progressed, I was hoping to sort of just do consecutive days of running. So I took Saturday off running and just did an hour 50 on the bike. Listened to the Jess Hull interview and the Tommy DeCanto interview. So that got me through that hour 50.
Which one did you enjoy more, Croaks?
I enjoyed both of them, different reasons. Yeah, like that's the good thing about the interviews. Huh?
If you had to pick one?
Come on,
I don't
mate.
know. Tommy's went longer.
Tommy's went
longer.
Tommy's
went. I enjoyed both of them.
Jess is a way superior athlete.
Yes. That's true.
Tommy is one of the people. Jess Hull's a bit of the lady of the people, though.
Tommy.
What about what?
Oh, what about how she was a big fan of your Croaks, Jess? Do you reckon you smooth things over? Do you get into her DMs after that?
No, I didn't. There's no issues at all between me and Jess. I don't know what the drama is.
I reckon Simon Hull would just be looking for you at the next track meet, and that's not a
dead man walking.
You don't want to mess with Simon Hull. He used to play rugby.
Boys, this is what we do on this show. We talk about the sport, and if somebody races in a way that's not traditionally them from a tactical point of view, we sort of call it out. And Jess, after her season, she was even the first to admit that maybe her being so aggressive cost her the silver medal. So she's admitted it herself. So, boys, look, I get it.
It wasn't about the criticism. It was the way you presented the criticism. Uncle Croaks is disappointed in you.
We love Uncle Croaks. I love that.
Simon is allowed to be disappointed in Jess, but Uncle Croaks is not allowed to be disappointed in Jess.
So one word. I used one word that I shouldn't have used, and you go on me for it.
Yeah. And now probably our greatest ever track and field middle distance runner, has a line
I
through
just
your
feel
name for potential people she'll be interviewed by.
I just feel like you guys
Allegedly.
won't like make any criticism at all. Like, why is it? Is it because like she's run faster than both you boys over 1500? What is
Moose
it?
and I always criticising stuff on this show.
Yeah, we're the
Oh,
main
Brady,
ones that do it.
oh,
Moose on the loose and the Whispers segment get us in the most trouble every week.
Brady. Hear this, Moose? Brady criticizes people. You know what?
Didn't I
You know
light
what?
someone up a few weeks ago?
Actually, you're right, Brady. You do criticize people, then you go and edit it out before you put it out to the public.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Yeah, it's also you got to be careful.
Anyway, no, they were both great interviews. Back to my week. So yeah, hour 50 on the bike, and then yesterday afternoon I jumped on the treadmill, just because I'm like, well, if my calf's no good, I will step off. But managed to get through an hour. Bit of KO Sports hour on the treadmill, and no issues with my calf.
What did you
This would
watch on
do
KO?
my head in.
I had the Legends golf on. All the old school guys like Peter Senior and Peter Lonard playing the Australian Championships.
Whereabouts?
It's quite a neat. I was in Sydney, Richmond. So golf's a pretty easy thing to have on, when you run on the treadmill. You sort of come in and out of it.
That'd be so boring. The ups
yeah,
and
but,
downs of Croaks' injury. I just never know what we're going to get.
Well, either do I. And
It must do your head in. And I feel like I've said this must do your head in for the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know whether the mulligans, like the uneven surface, is an issue, because I ran faster on the Monday around the pond than I did on the Friday when my calf sort of started to, spasm a little bit. It's definitely trending in the right direction. I'm having sort of less awareness of it, but I'm still doing the exercises a couple of times a day. I think I'll be having a follow-up once I've had a couple of weeks of doing these exercises.
Good, Croaks. I'm back, boys. I'm back running. I returned to run.
Oh yeah?
I kicked things off on I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was. It was so strange as well. My first run was I was on the elliptical and the bike a bit before this, but I was 8 by 1 minutes on, 2 minutes walk. And it's the weirdest thing, 1 minute of running, because you spend the whole 1 minute thinking can you feel anything? What's going on here? Is there any awareness? Is there any pain? You just got a billion things going through your head all about this injury. And then the minute just goes so quick. And then 2 minutes to walk goes forever. And then you finally hit the watch, you get going again, and just did that 8 times. No pain or awareness, but just awareness of covering the ground so awkwardly just because I hadn't ran for 6.5 weeks. It's have I really done this as a sport for the last 20 years? I'm looking in the reflection in houses I'm running past. I'm my technique's changed. I just felt strange. No pain, which was great, but I felt really, really strange. So
what pace you run?
Heart rate accurate? 150 heart rate?
Oh yeah, I hit threshold later in the week. Yeah, this is in 1 minute. I know. This is going to be a long road back, boys. And this is probably the first time, I've been, because I haven't ran at all, I've been just cross train, keep a bit of fitness there. You haven't really had running on your mind. And now that I've started back running, I'm just wow, I'm a long way, fitness wise, back from where I've been. And because I've been at a pretty high level consistently, it's a different world for me, seeing my heart rate at those kind of numbers. But I was running, I was just had stopwatch face on, but when I look back on it, it was 4:30 kind of pace, kind of average. I don't even know how accurate that is over 1 minute. Had a day off, did some more running on, this would have been Friday. So I had 8 by 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off this next day. And I hit 5K, come out average at 5K, 6:23 pace. So that was nice. Back on some old trails that I haven't seen for 6.5 weeks. And that one felt a bit better, getting, I don't know, something about the first one being a minute, you felt like you just couldn't get into any rhythm because you actually had to stop. Whereas having 2 minutes felt a bit better. The 2 minutes off, I've been taking my phone just to listen to music and stuff, but I find myself pulling out my phone and writing back to emails and stuff. And I'm this is not training, Brady. pull your head out. Like you're back in trainer mode, not like mucking around, just, not taking things seriously. Bit more elliptical, bit of gym stuff. And then yesterday it progressed to 5 by 3 minutes with 1 minute walk in between. And that felt the best it had been. And then I actually did my first back-to-back run today, being Monday, and it was 4 minute efforts, or not efforts, just 4 minutes of running. But I'm looking at me watch like 3 minutes in being like, how much longer have I got to go here? Like heart rate's getting close to 160, which is my threshold. I reckon I had a bit of DOMS this morning, like just from running for, 2 minutes yesterday, 8 times. So I'm back running, boys, but I'm down low, down really low, and I'm just trying to eat as much food as possible. Like, did you know you are 6 to 7% more likely to have another stress injury if you've had a stress injury?
Yeah, well, it's
And
the greatest.
up
The greatest predictor of bone stress is previous bone stress.
Bone stress, yeah. And further up the body is like more evidence that it was like fueling. So like mine being in my like iliac, my hip kind of thing. So I'm just like overeating. I'm just chucking food down, whatever I can find. Went to the supermarket yesterday, did like an additional shop on top of our weekly shop, just walking up the aisles, just putting like food in the trolley, just trying to shove it in.
I thought higher up the chain's more shoe related too.
Yeah, well, Tommy got talking to me about that on that road to Valencia. So trying to wear shoes that aren't sending, more old school.
Theories. It's theory for him.
Oh, is it?
It's. I mean, you don't.
He said there was some evidence that came out.
A little bit, but geez, like you've been wearing those big shoes for a long time, Brady. All of a sudden now you're hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not.
It's to heal it though, isn't it?
I'm not saying the shoes were the reason for Brady's injury.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm saying that, we know why Brady got injured. He just did too much. But I guess there's not. Well, Tommy said there was evidence out that there's a lot more like higher bone stress, and that's to do with the shoes because the load's been pushed up the chain. Yeah.
Well, I think they finally got some research to confirm all the anecdotal stuff that they were thinking or seeing in their clinic, or like that we've sort of potentially started seeing through the running community. Now they can say
he talks
it with
about
a bit
all
more
that.
Clarity. Yeah,
which is really good.
You'll bounce back pretty quick, Brady. What I've noticed with these sort of run walk progressions, because I was pretty much doing the same thing that you're doing now when I came back from the heart stuff. And so I had like 10 to 12 weeks of absolutely nothing, and same sort of thing. It's like heart rate's really high. And the first, I'm going to say maybe 10 runs are like terrible. And then after that, you do improve at a pretty quick rate. Like it does feel a lot easier.
Yeah. It was actually okay having DOMs today in other parts of my body that I'm like, I'm not even worried about my hip because it feels like I've got DOMs in my quad and my hammy. And I'm like, this is just that muscle soreness kind of thing. And the amount of good people around, like Paddy Stowe helped me with this return to run, that Josh McKenzie up in Queensland, like he's been big on this like fueling stuff. I think he's helped you out in the past as well, Croaks. Nitter, you got Tommy, like they're just, good people around, and they've probably always been banging on about this stuff, but I've just never paid any attention because it hasn't impacted me. But now, like Josh was saying, 45 calories per kilo, and not even including what you're burning for like running. Like that's just your daily calories you're trying to hit, which is a lot of calories.
You've been losing weight.
So when are you back
over time?
Pardon?
You've been losing weight over time.
No, I put on like 1.2 kilos over this 6 weeks, but I still haven't been chasing. Now I'm like actively chasing a number and like counting these things. Like I wouldn't say like, I just get lazy sometimes when I'm just like, oh yeah, there's nothing there. I'll just quickly grab a couple bits of toast on the way to work, stuff like that. I'm like having bowls of muesli now, like oats and stuff, like Cocoa Pop, shit like that before I actually go to bed, like have a second dinner. Like it's disgusting. I feel like I'm forcing it down, but I'm like, I'd prefer to be Like I was probably 50, and I'm pretty lean. Like I was probably 57 to 58 kilos pre-injury, and now I'm getting close to that 60. But I know it's going to be harder for running, but I'd be happy to be like 62, 63 and try to avoid like what you've described to me, Croaks, about this up and down, like feels good, doesn't feel good. I just don't want. We all know people who once they get a stressy, they're just in this cycle for years.
Yeah, but you can eat all you want.
That's what scares me the most.
You can eat all you want, Brady, but if you go out and do a marathon followed by a half marathon followed by 10 by 1K, it doesn't matter how much you're eating.
Yeah, I know, but my eyes are now on how do I heal, like stay healed? How do I supply myself with sufficient calories?
Yeah, fueling's...
fueling's important, but I actually think you've been doing quite a good job up until now anyway, because if you hadn't been, there's no way you would have been able to run as much as you have.
True. Yeah.
I feel like this injury for you is a one-off. We know what caused it. As long as you've let it heal properly, I don't think you're going to have any issues. I don't think you need to get up to 63 kilos. Like
now I'm 6 to 7 times more vulnerable, Croaks. So I do have to change things if you think about it.
Brady, you ran for 15 years. 15 years at an average of 100 miles a week, and you were running PBs, and you were consistently performing, and you were working full time, feeling good all the time. Don't let someone tell you that you were doing it all wrong, mate. You're fucking killing it more than all of us.
No. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about now to like keep this bone, like to help it heal. I keep smashing it with calories.
Yeah, but also think, Brady, there's people out there that have like the reason why they got bone stress in the first place was because they weren't fueling enough.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
Yeah.
And so these people that have had bone stress because they weren't fueling enough, they're the ones that need to then make sure that they are fueling.
Yeah. I guess the point I'm trying to make is for, the next 2 or 3 months, if I'm 2 or 3 kilos heavier than what I was pre-injury, it's not going to hurt me.
No, it's a good training stimulus.
Yeah. Then we start getting the rigs off during summer, Croaks.
We
cut. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. When will you be
shred
able to run like 30 minutes continuous? Are we talking like 2 weeks?
Oh, I can tell you that I've got the big plan here. I think this Sunday is like 2 by 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes Friday the 21st of November, and then 30 minutes is Monday the 24th of November. So what's that, 2 weeks today?
2 weeks, yeah.
And that week's like 30, 30, 35, 35. And then that gets me to Sunday, 30th of November, and then we'll run 100 miles a week after that. Couple of workouts.
This is the time, Croaks. We need to get him in a race. I might travel anywhere you're going, Brady, because I haven't beaten you for a long time.
It's cooked too, because I haven't got the natural talent. So I like relied on this 20 years of training, and now that's all gone. We are back to like square one. This is like 15-year-old Brady. Start building.
Tell me your first race, because I'm traveling there no matter where it is.
I don't need to race Brady. I've got a pretty good record against him.
I'm coming back to the Roo run for some redemption.
Yeah, Croaks, you've only raced twice in 4 years. Croaks has raced, and they were against you both times, Brady.
I'm not worrying about taking you on, Croaks. No, that's never going to happen. Let's thank some Patreon supporters. Kick things off, Croaks. Who you got?
I got Donald Moran from London and runs for the Mornington Chasers. He's run 16:34 at the 2020 Milton Keynes 5K, 33:39 at the 2022 Vitality London 10K, 74:28 at the 2019 St Neots Riverside Half Marathon, and 2:36 at the 2023 London Marathon. I think he's a contracts manager at Jones Engineering Group, and he also has his own coaching business. So thanks for your support, Donald.
Donald?
Thank you, Donald.
I did not read that as Donald. I read that.
How do you read it then?
No, I didn't read Donald. I just looked at him like Daniel, just because Donald isn't a real name, I don't think.
It's Donald without the D.
Yeah. I reckon you've cooked that, Brady. Nah,
is it or not?
He's just forgotten to put a D on the end.
No, that's his name.
It's an Irish name.
Look him up on Strava.
Okay, Donald.
Yeah, you pronounced it right as well, Croaks. Go by Google. Who you thinking, Moose?
Well, I have Matt McKenzie from Coolangatta. Coolangatta. is at the south end of the Gold Coast. One of the worst.
Where the airport is.
Oh, yeah. They could have put that higher, that airport. Would have saved a lot of drama coming into the Gold Coast every year. It's not great running there on the Gold Coast, but a lot of people do it. Matt has run 16:34 at Hervey Bay Park Run. Oh, that's the PB you're going with? Hervey Bay Park Run? Couldn't find a more legit one, Croaks?
No, that's I think he's quickest.
34:45 at the 2023 Gold Coast Suns 10K. What's that? Gold Coast Suns 10K.
I think the AFL team put on a fun run.
Yeah, right. See how was it? 78 minutes at the 2024 Gold Coast 50 half marathon. I think that's a festival where they do like heaps of different distances up there, like 50K. They do a marathon too.
I don't know if they do the marathon. I think it's like the 50K, half, 10K.
Yeah. I think it's getting bigger though. And this year he ran 2:38 at the Gold Coast Marathon where he was paced by Dave McNeil. And I believe Dave's his coach because Dave came up because I listened to their podcast. He's part of a podcast called Good Running Podcast. They're like one of them Instagram ones. They love making reels and getting laughs, that kind of thing. They've got some good content on there, but he talked about Dave McNeil staying at his house the night before, pacing him to his PB. I think I did see him out there on course as well, actually. Pretty hard to miss Dave McNeil. Normally wears his Australian top. Or did we actually work out where he got that Olympic top from Melbourne?
He wore it once. Well, it was a Sydney. It was a Sydney Olympic one. So he must have.
No one wrote in?
I don't know whose it was, but obviously the Nike athletes were in that Sydney Olympic colorway. So maybe that's why he wore it.
That's pretty.
I know it's different, but it's also it's on the same theme.
Yeah.
What would it take for you to put yours on for a race? The Doha one.
No.
The BLK. No. It's frame too, isn't it? So we'd have to break the frame.
No, I got two.
You got two.
Yeah, you get two. So
like is it an
30
X
years?
amount of dollars?
30 years?
Okay, yeah. Would you do it for charity?
Nah.
Like, would you do Sweat versus Steam next year in the Australian kit for a certain number?
Well, not if it was going to charity. I would.
Okay.
If you're going to pay me a certain number, I might.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a charity dude. It's just not what I do. I put in enough
hours. A bit of Ned Brockman about you.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, you can make charity about yourself, can't you?
Is it up to me? Thank you, Matt. I can't believe it's got to this stage and we've thanked Matt. This is just a bit of backlog here, Croaks.
I thought he signed
stuff up.
I actually thought he signed up just to get a bit of exposure for his podcast. And that's not a bad tactic. If you want some exposure.
Those fellas are being long-time listeners up there. Chris, Jordan. Good tactic also, though.
Croaks,
Brady never gave him a shout out.
I've done workouts with this bloke. I've done a long run with him. I know this guy.
They never had Croaks on his show. On their show. Croaks, they never invited you, mate. Or you just keep saying no.
I'd love listening to Croaks on another podcast. Do you say no to many Croaks?
Oh, say no to heaps, yeah.
I say yes to all of them. I reckon Moose is about 50-50. You just don't reply to people's comments.
No, just say no thanks. Podcasting, I'm not really into them.
I'm going to thank Joe Wood from London. He runs for the Dulwich Runners Association, AC.
Dulwich, I reckon.
Dulwich Runners AC. That would be Athletics Club. According to his Power of 10 profile, he's ran 16:50 for 5K at the park run over there, 36:46 at the 2021 Chase the Sun Battersea 10K, 82:44 at the 2021 Vitality Big Half, and 2:56 at the 2022 Amsterdam Marathon. I reckon Joe, being on Patreon, would be a big fan of the UK boys, who I think are recording this week. Klaus is gone on holidays to Sweden or something, so they were trying to make it work. And yeah, that's going to be, we need to get it pre-Valencia. But they're not real good at scheduling those fellas. So they send 38 messages back and forth, goes around in a triangle, and they still don't know when they're actually recording. But I think it's going to happen this week, Joe. So if you enjoy that.
Clousy might beat your coach, I reckon. The way
Klaus
he's
is
going.
going right, hasn't he? Yeah. He's turned a big page the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's why I want to hear from him before Valencia.
He ran 32K yesterday at 3:15.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you'd have to say that Klaus has probably got more natural talent than Dan. It's just keeping his body together.
Klausy's run like 3:41, I think, 1,500.
That's what I mean.
You're obsessed with his
back in the day.
natural talent, aren't you? Obsessed with natural talent. Is it
Well,
like,
talent and training puts together, that's like the perfect storm, whereas his body's probably let him down a bit.
how do you determine natural talent?
You know how I determine it? When I always ask people how they did it running when they were a kid, when no one's ever doing any running training usually. So it's like, how did you go in grade 6 cross country? If you were winning it off no training, you've probably got a bit of natural talent.
Well, then, you know how you always say that I've got a heap of natural talent?
Oh, yeah.
I never represented my primary school in athletics or cross country, and I went to Milton Public School.
Yeah, but I've seen photos of you when you're a kid. You're like 25 kilos overweight, which is, there's nothing wrong with being overweight as a kid.
You just said it's about whether you're winning school races in primary school.
Wasn't you did out a baker or something? You were smashing heaps of donuts. I've
bakery.
seen photos of you. So you didn't give the natural talent the opportunity to shine.
Brady,
Have you seen photos of it?
What about your VO2 max?
Yeah, because I trained for 20 years.
No, that's.
I'm not saying
a lot of that's genetic.
We're not talking about me. We're talking about Joe, Donald, and Matt here, and we're thanking them for their Patreon support. Send us through one of those photos, folks.
Croaks, I listened to a podcast with Brady the other day. Geez, he loves to, like, the host asks one thing and all of a sudden Brady becomes the host and just absolutely takes over. And the host just sits there and listens to him for 45 minutes straight. And then Brady asks the host questions. And all of a sudden turns it into an episode of Tell Me Your Tales, but Brady's the one answering, asking.
It's like when you do a bit of back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. Be wary if you're going to invite me onto your podcast. We also got Road to Valencia coming this week as well for Patreon supporters. You also get all the interviews early. So Patreon supporters have already listened to the Jess Hull interview that's coming out this Saturday. Running news. Thanks to Axel Coffee Roasters for bringing us this week's race results. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. Queensland 5K champs to kick things off, Moose.
Yes, they have some good athletes up there. I don't know any of these three fellas, but in the men's, so Lachlan Moore, brackets means age, I'm guessing, Croaks, 17 years old.
Correct.
He ran 14:25 as a 17-year-old, so that's going very well. Tim Fisk, 14:29, and Rowan Hickey, 14:38. You heard of any of those three, you guys?
Yeah, Tim Fisk I have.
Yeah, I've heard of Tim Fisk as well.
Okay, that's good.
You say they got a lot of good runners, but a few of the big boys are missing.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. They got good runners up there. They're
Kieran
strong.
Perkins.
Louis had a run? McAfee?
Yeah. He got disqualified. He's got an X next to his name. 15:10 for Louis, our man.
What did he do wrong?
He must have
shoes.
wore Vaporflies.
Shoes. Yeah, I don't mind that from Queensland.
Still gets to run.
But you get a time still?
Yeah, he's still in there.
Just not eligible for the state title, I suppose. But
when you look at the B race, there's a lot more X's next to the names there too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. In the ladies, Libby Mantay, who is 16. Whoa, how about this? 16, ran 16:22, beat Piper Anderson, who's 15, ran 16:33, and Helena Butler, who's 16, ran 17 minutes. So this could be like the 16 and under race. Isn't that wild?
Amazing, isn't it? There wouldn't have been too many state titles in the past where all three have been under the age of 18.
Yeah, let alone 16.
Chloe Patman was 4th. She's 24. Imagine getting rolled by 3 16-year-olds. You'd be like, what? Who
I
are
got a
these
feeling
girls?
that might happen pretty regularly if we showed up to these races, though. Like, there's some pretty good 16-year-olds out there now. And, I mean, 16:22 is good. That's still moving.
Yep, that's quicker than I was running at 16, I reckon.
On the boundary line of the with the umpires top on.
Umpiring time trials, yeah.
With the old fluoros on.
Run 5K at 16.
Nah, not
You're
running
still
them.
smashing donuts at 16, Croaks?
Still fat, yeah.
Sorry to fat shame you. I shouldn't have done that. Might have to cut that out. Stay away from
No.
anything controversial.
Stop that.
This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is brought to you by SAYSKY, the Copenhagen-based running brand making high-performance running gear with a bit of attitude. Whether you're chasing a new 5K PB, whether you're rolling through the marathon block, or just trying to survive your Sunday long run, SAYSKY's gear will keep you comfortable and looking good while you're hurting bad. They're all about the Scandinavian style, clean designs, premium fabrics, and a touch of fun because running's serious enough already. From their lightweight flow and combat range to their pace and blaze collections, SAYSKY's got you covered all year round. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout. SAYSKY is also available in selected retailers across Australia, so you can check it out in person and see why so many runners are switching to the Star. What am I doing? New South Wales Milers Club. Obssa, Youssouf, won that in 3:52.73. Joseph Ryan was second, 3:52.78. Close race there. And third, Cooper Hawley in 3:52.81. Kristen Cook won the women's in 4:36.4. Alexis Tague was second in 4:37.8. And Bronwyn Poole was third in 4:41.56. Did they kick things off at Bankstown, Croaks? Where was this one?
Yeah, it was at Bankstown. Pretty much all the milers meets are out at Bankstown.
Yeah, those still same guys doing it, like Colin and Matt Whitbread and that.
Oh, I'm sure they're
still
involved.
running it there.
Yep.
Only 4 races.
Yes.
2 open 15s and 2 open 8s. Is that right?
Well,
you got to click on divisions here.
Yeah, there's different races.
Different divisions. Yeah. There were some 800s as well. Kai Cullens won that 153.2, beat Adam Pike 154.2, and Lachlan Fian was third in 154.4. Georgia Winkcup, she won the women's in 209.4. Australian representative steeplechaser, isn't she? Georgia?
She is.
She is, yeah. Alma Robb was second, 211.55, and Aaliyah Bennett was third, 211.7. Vic mustn't be far off, Moose. Your favourite events to tune into, Vic Milers Club.
Thursday night.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Croaks is all over it. Live stream. Get it up, Moose. Thursday night.
You have to have a live stream.
Block out the calendar. Moose is
hopefully, I'll be in Melbourne conference. I'll have it playing in the background.
Have it on your phone under the table.
Yeah.
What are you telling me about, Croaks? The World Athletics Athlete of the Year Awards.
Yeah, so I sort of noticed this during the week. So World Athletics, they've announced their Athlete of the Year finalists. So it's broken down into men's and women's track athlete of the year, men's and women's field athlete of the year, and the men's and women's out of stadium athlete of the year. So out of stadium is obviously the marathon, could be race walking, that sort of thing. And Beatrice Chibet was overlooked for the female track athlete of the year. The 2 finalists there are Sydney McLaughlin and Femke Bol, which I thought, how do they decide this? Because Beatrice Chibet broke the world record, first female to break 14 minutes, won both the 5K and the 10K at the World Championships. In that 5K, beating a quality field. Sydney McLaughlin didn't break a world record, hardly raced throughout the season. Femke Bol didn't break a world record. Like, is it a popularity contest? I don't know. I just feel like this award means absolutely nothing when somebody like Beatrice Chibet is not in the top 2.
And didn't that Femke Bol, did she win her event at the World Champs, but Sydney McLaughlin chose not to do that event?
Yeah, so Sydney McLaughlin is the world record holder in the 4 hurdles, and she just ran the 400 flat at the World Championships. I think she won it and ran the second fastest time ever over 400. Interesting fact, the world record was actually set in Canberra back in like the 80s, which meant that Femke Bol didn't have to compete against Sydney in the 4 hurdles, and so she won the 4 hurdles at the World Champs. But you can't say.
Also weird that they're like they're both 400 meter like hurdles and flat.
And you can't say that their seasons were better than Beatrice Chibet.
She's also going to the 800, isn't she? Femke Bol. She's
She
decided
is,
to
yep.
step up. Yeah.
There's
So I just thought that was really interesting.
some whispers floating about that maybe World Athletics, like there has to be a reason for that snubbing, because it doesn't, like, it can't be ignored. Like what you've just said there, to win the double, break world records, and then get ignored for the female track athlete of the year. Like, what's going on there, Croaks? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and look, we have been maybe
What's
a little
the whisper, Moose?
well.
The whisper, Brady, out there. Someone told me today, actually, just whispered it in my ear as I ran past. They said, they might have suspected them of some bad pharmaceutical use. Maybe there's some.
I'm sure we've spoken about this a little bit. Like her manager has had quite a few athletes suspended.
This is Beatrice Chibet we're talking about.
Beatrice Chibet, yeah.
Why else? Like, we're not. They
would have to know. There would have to be like, hey, there's been a test or something that's come back positive. There's an appeal in place. In the interim, don't nominate her for this award because it could backfire on us. You can't just suspect stuff. You have to look at what results she's put out there for the year and say that's the most
whisper,
impressive
mate.
female.
That's the whisper.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Just
whispers. Like, it would be a valid reason for why they haven't nominated her.
Yeah. Anyway, just a few other athletes of note. So the men's track athlete of the year is down to Emmanuel Wanyonyi and Noah Lyles. In the field events, we have an Aussie, Nicola Olaslagers. She's up against Tara Davis-Woodall, the long jumper. Out of stadium, Perez Jepchirchir. So she's up against Maria Perez, who's a race walker. And in the men's out of stadium, it's Sebastian Sawe versus Alphonse Simbu, who won the World Championships. So that, I think they're announced on like the 30th of November. But the main talking point was just the snubbing of Beatrice Chibet, and why would that be the case? I don't know.
What else did Simbu do this year, Croaks? Like, he won the world champs in the sprint finish.
Probably not much else.
Sawe won London and Berlin.
Yeah.
Both pretty impressive times.
Sawe will win that one, surely.
I'm just looking at what old mate Simbu did, his other results this year. September, he ran 2:09.48. That would have been the world champs. And then in April, he came second at Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to take 2 wins over, don't you? You got to take 2 world major wins over a world champs win and a second.
Don't know.
Sawe's ran super fast as well.
How are they voting? Anyway, is this voting, or is this a committee?
The world champs should carry more weight, actually.
Well, I thought it would be a committee, but based on the women's track, it sounds to me like who has the most Instagram followers, maybe.
Ooh, Croaks, nasty.
What?
You reckon Sebastian Sawe has a lot of... You reckon Alphonse Simbu has a lot of influence?
I was just comparing Beatrice Chibet's Instagram followers to Sydney McLaughlin and Femke Bol.
Yeah.
I reckon they've got a few.
Thanks to Axel Coffee for this week's running news. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. Whispers, boys. And a question to go with the whispers. I'll go with the question first. Should professional athletes document all their training on Strava? Do you think it's good or bad? It's a help or a hindrance?
Well, what's the question? Good for what?
Yeah, well, so it's 2 notable people, and the whisperers, this is whenever someone goes missing off Strava, this is when the inbox fills up with whisperers. Like they pick the trend. So people are fans of these individuals. So Izzy Bat-Doyle's been a couple of days with nothing on Strava. Andy Buchanan's been like a week. So 2 of our most prominent marathoners who put all their stuff on disappear, and then people start asking questions, and now I'm bringing it up on a podcast.
Yeah.
We hope like both of them haven't taken to social media and said, hey, this is what's wrong. And like, we hope everything's okay, but it brings, by putting everything onto social media, it brings this spotlight onto Strava. It brings this spotlight that people notice because they're used to seeing you run twice a day when you go missing. And do you need people to notice? Or is it better to just be closed off, do the Jess Stenson and just drop one in every 2 or 3 weeks?
Or the Jess
Eliminate that
Hull
noise.
and keep it private.
Jess Hull's on Strava. No one even knew that. She'd have a burner, I reckon. I'm going to go through my followers and just see what burner account could potentially be her.
What, you reckon she follows you, do you, Brady?
Much bigger fan of me than she is of you, mate. She helped me out with that Faith Keep Yagon project. Anyway, what do you reckon?
I used to love, like, these days I'm not sure it would fly that much, but Galen Rupp, the guy did not do any social media, no interviews, he'd do no YouTube videos. He would train. No one would know what he was doing. Maybe there was one flow track workout that came out of it 8 years of through his main period of his career. And he would show up to races. No one knew how fit he was. And it was like a mystery. And he was on a contract so big with Nike that it didn't matter. There's no stipulation saying you got to do social media, put out YouTube vids, come and do these announcements, rock up to the store and sign autographs. And he's not chasing the little fucking like nutrition sponsors or this or that require a lot of social media and attention or personality. So the guy got his money to train and race, and he didn't need to do the sideshow. Whereas I'm not sure it's like that anymore. And Strava forms part of the I'm going to call it the sideshow, but let's not think of that as a negative way, because they've got their racing, obviously. Like we've got Andy and Izzy, they've got their racing, right? Now, Galen Rupp used to get his $1 million for his racing. He didn't need sideshow work to get it up to 2 million, whatever. But then there's the next level down, and maybe the next level down is not getting their $1 million for racing. Their $1 million covers racing, socials, working with their athletes as sideshow, like as in coaching gigs, the little nutrition sponsors that want them to be putting up videos all the time, that kind of stuff. That's when they have to go on Strava.
Well, they don't have to, Moose, because the sideshow could be Instagram.
Or a podcast, isn't? Yeah, or YouTube. Like it's
because the problem with Strava is, as Brady has said, when they go missing and don't log training, that's when the spotlight's on them. Whereas if they don't have Strava, but they're still plugging all of their other nutrition, sponsors on Instagram, if they don't train for a week, nobody knows, nobody cares, but they're still, I guess, supporting their sponsors along the way through that.
You have a bit more control. It's the same thing. If you're uploading a weekly YouTube video or a fortnightly YouTube video, have a bit more control about it and time.
I think Strava builds the story more though, and it connects them with the people. It connects them better with I love Strava for that. I love to follow pros on Strava, and you get to see what real life as an athlete looks like from a training perspective. And I think it's great that we can do that. It's like an open training session at the Cats. Like the public come down, they get to see like the Cats out training, and like a professional sport.
It's legit somebody's training diary. Yeah. Like imagine if I could click on somewhere and look at Mona or Deke or Troopy's or Mottram's training diary and just read through it from the comfort of my own couch. Like it is amazing.
Retrospective is different though, obviously.
I know. Yeah.
Seeing it play out, seeing a nightmare for someone play out in a public space. But like the AFL players, Pendlebury does his ankle, right? He's not at training. He's not at training. The club says he's done his ankle. There's no you get updated. The sports are open like that. In fact, they have to be open. So there's I still like the fact that these guys are open with it, and we can follow it on a little bit more closely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think having an avenue is I don't think you can be, unless you're the Galen Rupp, if you're that next tier down, you need to have another value point for a brand. And if that's a huge Strava following, if it's Instagram stuff you're a fan of, if it's a YouTube channel that you want to develop, if it's a podcast, I think it's a great way to connect with your audience and your fans and to make people a fan of you. Look at that run for Japan guy. I
Mm.
saw his video today. I didn't watch it, but it'd been out for like 12 hours and had 75,000 views. He's
Wow.
massive. So
Mm.
you think he's like next Brooks contract. Well, that's probably why. And a lot of the brands are doing that now too, aren't they? Like you're on a 50% content deal and a 50% pro athlete deal.
Was like, is it Philly Bowden in the
Yeah.
UK? Like, she's obviously a quality runner, but I wouldn't be surprised if her contract has like some social media stuff in
Yeah.
it.
Dan spoke about that on one of the monthly episodes.
Yeah, 'cause
Wasn't sure if he was meant to, but he did.
she gets like 66,000 views here.
I don't know who that
was
is.
something that was put up a week ago.
Dan paced her at Berlin a couple of years ago, maybe last year. 224, 225, correct? Somewhere
really?
like
Yeah,
that.
around that. Yeah,
Like
so she's
maybe
got
227.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
got
she's
nearly
on.
178,000 subscribers on YouTube.
But this also, I just said, like, I think you need to have that, but it also comes at a massive expense. Like, and I think we start seeing athletes go the other way now, that like they stop saying yes to podcasts, or they stop saying to these like the second tier down, like nutrition brand or whatever you spoke about, Moose. Like, no, I'm not putting energy into this stuff. I've got to train. I've got to recover. Like, I'm trying to run 200K weeks. Like, all these little, what do you call them? Sideshows. Like, they do take energy and they take time, and it's, I think if you want to be, it's a really terrible situation potentially that some of these people are in, and it's good when it's good, and it's not when it's not.
Terrible situation. You're
Well,
hamming
not
it up a
terrible,
bit.
but it's like, sorry, not terrible. That was a bad use of a word, but it's challenging. Creates a challenge, especially if you don't naturally like are good at content.
Yeah. Well, my like that sub elite has never been the job for someone, right? So someone running,
But these
like,
guys aren't sub elite. It's legit like
no, I
our
know
marathon
not
record
those
holder.
guys, but we're talking about, like, let's say that guy from Japan. What's he run, like 2:15 or something?
Yeah.
So like 2:15 guys were not doing that for their job before social media. So like social media has created a way for him to do it as his job.
Correct.
Back in the day, a 2:15 guy was going out running with everyone else on a Sunday morning and like going to work Monday, and that still happens quite a bit. So yeah.
Let us know, Patreon supporters, on the feed there. Give us your opinion. Izzy might have just lost her phone. Andy could have just lost his phone. I don't know what's happened. Maybe their Bluetooth's not connecting or something. But yeah, Moose on the loose. What do you got, Moose?
Well, I on race day, we talk so much about these little things now that contribute very little to the race, but you think like it's something that you focus on massively. So all the hydration and nutrition stuff, I think our focus on that is so overboard now that it can actually make things stressful. Like, I'm waking up, I'm trying that like Nomeo drink. I'm trying to get the perfect mix of carbs in. I'm trying to time it perfect to have my caffeine. I'm sipping on carb bottles, and I'm getting nervous because I'm worried that I'm going to miss one of these tiny little 1% things that probably make no real difference to me overall, when really my fitness is at like 40% of what it should be. And I'm here thinking that I've mixed my carb drink wrong, so I'm going to have a shocking day because I put in half a scoop too little into my drink bottle. And I reckon like we're buying way too much into the hype of the tiniest little things that make very little difference on race day, when fitness makes all the difference. So that was my little pickup from the weekend. Is care less about the little shit and more about the big shit.
That's where it's going, though, isn't it? That's the marketing dream.
You know, fucking tracking
that
your
they've got in your
sleep
head like that.
Tracking your sleep, putting your legs in bloody compression boots, like all the different supplement pills, all the different wake up drinks.
You'd have a pair of the boots, wouldn't you?
I got
Surely you've
boots.
purchased a pair of the boots. Yeah, I thought you would.
Ali and I
Omega-3 tests.
share the boost. Test your omega-3s, Croaks, just to make sure your fatty acid profile's right. And constantly like looking at your piss if it's a tiny bit like watery. Oh, got to smash the like it's just and this like that person is not running enough. I can almost guarantee you they're not running enough for that to matter. What they need to do is run more, and we have this discussion all the time. I need to run more than worry about how many scoops of carb mix I'm putting in my drink bottle to drink before the race. It's not helping me at 9K. Fitness is helping me at 9K.
Fitness.
The other thing is adults that run the kids race at fucking fun runs. Oh.
Mate, Moose, are you having to go at yourself here? Didn't you do that at the Roo Run?
Yeah, I did. I won the kids race and the adult race that day, Croaks.
That's why I'm surprised. I thought I could have seen you in the 5K yesterday.
So you can only do it if you've won the bigger race previously that morning.
No, I won that later. But this is different here. There was a start line there filled with runners, and there's a start line filled with children. And if you're serious about yourself and you don't go, oh, the children's race, I'm going to do that one. You're going to go, I'm not that fit right now, but I'm going to race against the adults like another adult probably should.
What happens if it's like someone who runs, say, like 1500s over summer and like 5K is a long way for them?
You do the adult race.
Oh, gosh. It's not advertised as an adult kids race, though, is it? I've got adults doing the 5K this weekend.
No, so Brady, this is different, right? I'm not.
Okay.
Like
I'm just asking.
For some people, the 5K race is a challenge to get to, and that's 100% legit for those that type of runner to go and challenge himself to run 5K. And this isn't. I'm not aiming at. This is at someone who considers himself a serious competitive runner to show up and look at and run the 5K at the community race. The 5K is for those athletes that can't physically run the 10K properly yet, or that shouldn't, like younger people.
If you can do it, enter it. That's your advice.
This isn't like running the 1500 at Zatopek, but rather than the 10K. It's not different. It's very different to that.
Someone has triggered him here, Croaks. Go look through the results of the 5K yesterday. That's who it would have been. Listen to question. Bring it on, Croaks.
I don't think they need they don't need results for the 5K. It shouldn't happen. There shouldn't be results there. That's the kind of vibe of that event.
Why not?
We got results for our 5K and prize money.
But you just said, Moose, that for some people 5K is a challenge, and why shouldn't their times be recorded?
The kids dash doesn't need times, Moose.
Good point. Kids dash.
Me there, the kids race. Kids
so
dash 1K and 5K.
You're paying prize money for your 5K.
Yep, 5K and 10K.
Dangerous there, because what you're going to get is like people will just sort themselves out before the start line and go, you'll take the 10K money, I'll take the 5K money. Just spread it around. Don't you want a premier event? Closed.
What do you mean?
Don't you want the premier event? Like, all right, we're going to run the 10K, and this is the race that all the competitive runners will show up to, and then
I think, I'm looking at the entry list. I think the person winning the 5K is a local kid who's probably like 16 and he can run about 15:50. I think he'll win the 5K.
That's good then. That's good. I like that.
And then the 10K, you got probably 3 or 4 guys who are broken 30 minutes. Who this kid wouldn't be able to beat.
Who name them?
Yeah, they have PBs.
Archie Reid, Nate Stote.
Archie Reid. Matt Bailey.
Oh, Matt Bailey.
Matt Bailey from Knox. He lives in Shepparton now. He's entered. There was one other person who I saw on the entry list today, and I thought, Jamie Cook. He's a sub-30 guy, isn't he? Been a while. He's broken 30. So. Jamie the Beast Cook.
Jeez, you're reaching.
It's about a 14, 15 guy. This is what I'm going with the local paper. I'm telling the local journal, I'm like, I got 4 sub-30 guys. They'll all run 34 minutes other than Nate Stote as well. But that's all right. Oscar Reid, Archie's brother, is going around. It's a pretty elite field. Anyway. Yeah. What are we doing, Croaks? Listen to question.
Yeah, this episode's Listen to Question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. So we've got actually quite a few good questions here. I'm going to go with this one. Any tips for a base summer phase of training with no races scheduled? That question comes from Robbie North.
Good question from Robbie North.
Mm.
Because there's not many races, is there? Like you look at the calendar between now, if you're someone like us, don't want to get on the track,
Yeah.
maybe you'll rock up for like one of these community 5K events, maybe the Surf Coast Track Club 10K. They're not much until March next year.
But it's also relevant to you have a period where you don't have any races scheduled for 6 to 12 months or 6 months. And it's like, all right, you've got time to build this base. What are you working on?
Bases are often related to someone having a season as well. So for instance, like cross country season, like the fact that he's talking about a summer phase of training, like a base summer phase, maybe he's got a cross country season lined up where he runs for Geelong, 8 events in the season. So firstly, you should describe what a base is.
A base?
Yeah, like you got to define base before a base phase of training before we go further.
Oh, so I guess it's like building the foundations to then add more race specific stuff to later on down the track.
So what are the foundations you're talking about?
Well, so the things I love about this question or this, I guess, issue is like the fact that he doesn't have anything in the short term means that you can be patient and you don't need to force things. So the things that I would be focusing on would obviously be trying to build up decent amounts of volume, but then coming at your training from both ends. So like a lot of like threshold work that's really like quite controlled. So you're building that sort of base and that fitness, but also working on some speed. So strides or some like 200s for good form, but also then going to the gym and working on some weaknesses there because you don't have anything coming up. So it's getting yourself bulletproof, laying the foundations both from a strength point of view, a speed point of view, without placing too much stress on things, plus the strength in the gym, so that then when you want to start to get, I guess, race specific, you sort of got all bases covered, and then you sort of narrow in on the race specific stuff.
So what are you trying to avoid during the base phase?
Well, being impatient and like forcing fitness.
No, from a training perspective, like when you write out a week of base training, so like obviously you mentioned race specific stuff later. So what sort of training during base doesn't really fit in with base training?
So like longer reps at race pace. So like high intensity for a long period of time.
Yeah. So like the high lactate stuff.
Yeah, like speed endurance type stuff. Whereas, you can go the long threshold reps controlled, and you can do shorter, faster stuff that's not too long. So that's sort of coming from both ends. But you want to leave the middle stuff, which is like the race specific for longer reps till after the base phase.
There's low risk in this phase as well. So like this shouldn't be, hopefully, creating injuries or like mental fatigue to get through it. You shouldn't be like freaking not want to get out of bed in the morning. Like this should be an enjoyable phase. This is about summer and Malmo croaks. Remember I had to go at that last year? That's similar kind of thing. You're touching a few different ones. If you want to like be consistently running 2 hours for your long run, you might have them at 90 minutes or an hour 40 and then drop up and down. I think like variety is good through this stage as well, where you might chuck in that steady long run, every second or third week just to mix things up a bit. But it might be, 70 or 80 minutes, bit of that kind of tempo-y pace, not quite thresholdy. But yeah, hills are great for this stage. Stuff where you're like you're not really looking at your watch to be like, I want to hit these kind of paces. I want to do hill reps and feel strong in them. I want to do my threshold stuff and feel like I could go an extra 5 seconds a K quicker if I had to. And when it comes to the time, you can do that.
Yeah, as long as the hill reps aren't long ones, like they still should be pretty short.
Like you're thinking like up to like a minute, 90 seconds?
No, too long for me. Like that.
Too long.
That's the similar
thing. You do them as like supplemented stripes.
Yes. So if you go and do, let's say you go do 8 70-second hill reps, that's like going out and smashing out 8 400s, which is the sort of stuff that we've talked about that we probably don't want to do during this phase.
Depends how you run them though, Moose. Like I've had athletes do hill sessions where like they're doing 90 seconds, but it's almost like a broken tempo where they're like, and it's not a super steep hill where they're running up at a controlled effort, turning around, coming back down. So you can get sort of 30 minutes of sort of broken tempo work in a way. I don't feel like that's super high intensity.
Well, they're not
hills
really,
comes down to how
really
hard you
intervals
run.
then. Like I don't call like hill rep. If someone tells me they're doing hill reps, then they're not doing it like a tempo.
Okay, you think it's like real high intensity stuff?
Are you thinking like hands on your knees at the end of it kind of thing?
That's what a hill rep's always really been for me.
Nah, but you can do them a bit like...
You can do controlled hills.
You can do rhythm and form hill reps, I reckon, where you're working hard, but you're almost ready to go halfway back down the hill.
I reckon the boys in Boulder do a fair bit of this in their base phase. They'll do like a long run up a canyon, just, steady uphill long run.
Magnolia Road. Get up that.
That's not a real hill. That's like a rolling long run.
I'm sorry, I haven't been there.
Well, they do have the canyon roads though. Like I remember seeing Truby used to get his crew doing that up. I forget what road it is.
There's some canyon road.
I think I ran up it. I think I actually did run up it once. It's just a steady uphill.
It's a good question. Yeah. Variety, avoid risk. Like stuff you can just string together, but you got room to move.
Just
don't have to force things because
don't run too hard. Just don't run too hard, and build mileage, and don't do anything that stresses you out too much. Really, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I do like this. I do like the fact though that people don't have like a race in the short term, because I think that's sort of what's hampered you a little bit, Moose. Whereas if you're always thinking about what's coming up in 4 weeks' time, and because it may be a nothing race like Run Geelong, but you still want to try and get in shape for it. You don't want to stand up, be on the start line underdone, and that then means that you're always pushing the envelope. Whereas if you have a period where you don't have any races for 10, 12 weeks, it means for 6 weeks, you don't need to be pushing and forcing things. You can be patient and let the fitness slowly build.
Yeah, agree.
Take that, Moose. That was thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up, fellas? We've got Vic Milers Club. We've got the South Australian 5K champs. We've got the Jess Hull interview, thanks to Koros, which is coming out this Saturday morning. Have I missed anything? No big road races?
Yeah, the Sweat vs. Steam.
Sweat vs. Steam, the sellout. They're a bit more relaxed.
I think there's a 5K in Wollongong. Wollongong, like around the creek track, I think.
Oh, yeah. Those boys will be going fast up there.
If you want an entry to this race, just email Brady. He might be able to sneak you in. He told us there's a few little ways to get in. So just shoot him an email.
I've got to get my name off the race roster thing. Because it's got Brady and then it's got the info at runtopb.co. But then people email in saying, "Hi, Brady." And I'm like, do I know this person? Like, does she work at my kid's kindergarten or something? Like, do we have a connection?
He's cutting this bit, Moose.
I'm not cutting it. I did let one of the kindergarten teachers in through the back door the other day. I was like, I'll get you in.
Charge them double. See how much they really want to get in.
Yeah, I was processed a couple of refunds today, actually. That opened up a few spots. I'll present next week. It won't be too many Ks, but I'll do 5 things I learned from being a run director.
Oh, yeah?
That'll be my contribution to the show next week. Because I've learned a few things so far. What do you got coming up, Moose? Conference?
Yeah, up to Melbourne on Thursday. So I'll do a workout up there on Thursday morning.
You catch up with Zaka?
Zach, is he doing workouts?
Yeah, I think he's nearly back to workouts.
I don't think so. Not last.
He's another bloke that had a stressy.
Yeah.
Name me someone who hasn't been injured over the last 12 months.
The the underfueling thing theory's gone out the window with Zaka getting a stressy.
That's rough.
Yeah, bit rough. Sorry, Zaka.
All right. You're going to conference.
Yep.
What are you doing, Krogs?
Going to school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days in a row. I'm doing the exam supervision for seniors. And then announced just a few hours ago, we've got a big name coming to Lily's and Collis's Little A's on the weekend for like community round.
Cam Myers.
Oh.
Aussie rep, world record holder.
World record holder. Jess Hull. 2K.
No. Jared Clifford.
Oh, Jared's in town.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, we at our Little A's.
There you go.
That's good they do that. He's like a special ambassador or something though, isn't he?
Yeah, Coles, because Coles
supermarket?
sponsor Little A's and he's like Coles ambassador.
I reckon he's coming off a stressy too.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he had a knee. When I was talking to him last, he was just coming off something.
Jeez. You know what? That's screaming coaching issue to me. Coaching issue. Everyone's getting stressies. It can't just be big shoes, can it?
Is it the big shoes and then we train harder though?
Are we changing how we're training? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, this was Mona's discussion a couple of weeks ago where he's like, I get the shoes can make people train more, but what's it going to do for their like longevity in the sport? Which is sort of a valid point. I feel like a lot of athletes are going like hammer and tong for like, and maybe you can flog yourself for 1-2 years, but is it sustainable for 10 years, 15 years like Mona and those guys did?
Look at Clayton Young and Connor Mance. Like how long can they keep that up for?
So it's a valid point from Mona.
Yeah, good talker. All right, boys, that was episode number 419. We'll do it all again next week. Thanks for tuning in, listeners.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. It was proudly brought to you by SAYSKY. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score a 15% off discount using the code IRP15 at checkout.